Hello and welcome to Against the Fence. This is your People's Pick show, the show where we listen to you, yes, the viewers, the fight fans. We break down the upcoming fight card according to your predictions, and we don't tell you guys what to think, but we show you exactly how to think when it comes to looking at these particular matchups. Tonight we're on to UFC 272, and we're going to see a massive combination of fighter, striker versus grappler in the COVINGTON versus Masvidal matchup tonight. Enjoy. We've got a whole show planned out with you with loads of picks sent in as well. So thanks for sending those in. And we'll
thank
be with you shortly. Awesome. Yes. And we're back. I'm here with Ash tonight, and we're going to do the whole breakdown tonight. It's going to be epic.
Yes.
You looking forward to it?
That's crazy, yeah. Yeah, it's crazy. Obviously, we had the scare of midweek where we had Faizev pull out, and then it was going to be Islam. It was going to be Islam versus RDA. It's crazy. Obviously, Islam just fought last weekend. Was he going to step in against RDA? And then we had the Americano step in, thankfully. To be fair, personally, I think the Americano fight is more interesting than the Islam versus RDA. Because obviously, we all know Islam will just dominate RDA. So that's what I mean. For me, it's more intriguing having the Americano versus RDA.
It's an interesting matchup. It is, definitely, isn't it?
Yeah, that's what I mean, yeah.
Yeah, and the exciting thing, I guess, which I really did like to see about that Islam Makhachev versus RDA is just because it's been so long anticipated. It's like they tried to make that fight happen so many times before in the past. I think on 2 occasions. Islam had an injury. He had an injury. It never came to fruition. But the exciting, and I think that was his last fight when Paul Felder stepped in, was actually supposed to be Makhachev.
That's it.
And that was like on 5 days. Insane. But the whole idea was like, by accident, by sheer accident, we can finally have the fight we've all been waiting for ages anyway. It was supposed to happen. Like, that would have just been fate, It was just meant
crazy.
to be. But I don't think it was wise for Islam Makhachev in his corner. He's just done a fight and had a strategy for it. And he's on a title run. He shouldn't be taking any unexpected.
Could you imagine if he lost
Anything
that?
can happen. Exactly, right? Anything can happen. Anything. So, yeah, I think the strategy there is, when you're at the bar with your mates and you're just acting tough, and it's like, you boys hold me back, but I don't actually want to get in a fight, but you act like you want to get in a fight. That's probably what's going on, I almost guarantee
Crazy.
it. Oh, man. So we got some people in chat. It's Christopher Rampersad.
Yes,
hey, man,
Chris.
what's good?
Welcome back, mate.
What's good?
Welcome back,
into
buddy.
the People's Pick Show. Without further ado, we should probably get straight into the main channel of it,
Yes.
Because we've got quite a fight card to start talking about.
We have indeed, mate, yeah.
What I'm going to do is I'm going to get the fight card up on the screens. We'll do a quick breakdown of each of the fighters, but we're going to look at some of those videos you guys sent in too. So thanks again for everyone who sent in.
Yes,
videos.
thank you for sending your videos in. Thank you.
I mean, pretty good videos. They
Always
really
appreciated.
Always. So let's have a look what we got here then. So I'm just going to bring up the fight card. So let me know when you can see that. Bam.
Yes, Chris.
What's he saying?
Like Christopher Rampersad goes, he's got Masvidal round 1 triangle choke, £1,000.
Oh man,
love it.
Oh man, I can't wait to get into that. We're going to start on the first fight in the card, and we're going to talk it all out. But now, for real, what do you have on this first fight in the card? Sergey Spivak. Do you want to run us through?
Yeah,
who we
Sergey
got here,
Spivak versus Greg Hardy. Yeah, this one's an intriguing one. As I said to you just before we came live, like, it's crazy to think that Greg Hardy, the reputation that he has, and 2, he's not got the best of records, and I think he's coming off 2 losses now, and he's still somehow making his way onto a main card, and it's a pay-per-view. Like maybe like a main card of a fight night, but a main card of a pay-per-view, and the guy's got he's not got the best reputation, as I said, and his record's not the best. It's crazy.
Too many people are sort of counted as they have been.
So, I mean, me and Jordan went back and forth on Rodriguez. Rodriguez is on the prelims. She headlined in a fight night the other month. It's crazy.
Right.
Crazy.
It is a bit nuts, isn't it? I mean, I think they want that sort of bang power, and they want some knockout. They want some knockouts.
Yeah, I'm guessing that's the only heavyweight fight that's available. And what I mean, the heavyweights.
Yeah.
You never. I could be talking a load of box. Greg Hardy could knock him out. You never know.
Yeah, he could do. I mean, I don't bank on his gas tank going the duration with someone like Sergey Spivak, but he certainly has a big tool bag, this Spivak guy. So. And that's not euphemism. I'm generally talking about his ability. So in the chat here, Damien says Hardy versus Jones winner gets a rematch with. And holla, was good, Damien. It was good.
Yes, Damien. What's up, mate? You all right? And Taylor Young as well. Yes, Taylor.
Oh, mate, old in the house.
Welcome in, boys.
Taylor says there, Masvidal via second round grenade launcher, Tony Montana style. I love it. That I'd love to see. But let's talk about that. So I'm going to quickly go over to the people's picks. So some of you guys sent in your picks on this particular fight card. So let's see what you guys had to say about this matchup. And then we'll bring it right on back to talk about the rest of the card. So check it out.
So my UFC 272 picks are, I have Sergey Spivak beating Greg Hardy, probably by ground and pound.
Hello everyone at ATF, thanks for having me on again. Really enjoyed being talking to you the last time. So I suppose let's get straight into my predictions for UFC 272. So if we start with the Sergey Spivak and Greg Hardy fight, I suppose it's always a good way to start off a main card with two heavyweights, provided we get that big finish. For me, I fancy Spivak to get it done, either by submission or TKO via ground and pound. I think if it goes past like 2 minutes, Greg Hardy is just going to be exhausted in there. And I think this might be the last time we see Greg Hardy in the UFC.
Hello ATF crew. These are my picks for UFC 272. Starting with the first fight on the main card, we got a heavyweight bout between Sergey Spivak and Greg Hardy. I think that Greg Hardy is a very strong individual. You know, he has the capability of knocking him out. But I think that Spivak's wrestling and ground game is going to give him the advantage in this fight. I think he'll take the early storm and he'll try to get a submission in round 2. That's what I think.
Nice. Some really good picks.
Wow.
But it's all one-sided.
Spivak, 100%.
Yeah, everyone's on Spivak. Everyone. You know,
that's crazy.
That was Tay right there. That was Chris right there. And
yes.
That was Liam
Thanks
right
for
there.
your Liam,
again,
Taylor,
guys.
and Chris. Thank you for your picks.
100%.
Yeah.
If you want to get in the chat with these guys, their handles are there in the corner of the screen. They're on Twitter, so you can always reach out to them on Twitter and just keep the debate going. But
lean towards them two as well. Them three, sorry, as well. Spivak. I'm going to lean towards him just a little bit. I think he.
Yeah.
It's crazy. Like they said, TKO as well. I can't remember who said TKO. Ground and pound. I think it was Liam. But yeah, I tend to agree with that. I think he could get the fight to the get the fight to the mat and then just beat him up down there.
Yeah. And I think Spivak's got a lot of tools, hasn't he, to get it done. He can actually do it in different ways. He doesn't have to stand if he doesn't want to stand.
Yeah, that's what I mean. He's got the credentials to get it to the mat. And Greg Hardy's takedown defense isn't the best. And obviously he come in his press conference saying he was quite overweight as well. So I'm interested to see what he's going to weigh in tomorrow. Is it tomorrow? Yeah, tomorrow. I'm interested to see what he's going to weigh.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, well, I'm interested as well, but let's look at the numbers on this then. So if we're looking at a reach, right, we've got 80, and I mean, 2 inches is not a massive difference in reach, is it?
No.
So it's not going to make all the difference. But that goes to Greg Hardy. So I would like to see him work behind his jab, keep it at his range, and sort of maintain the range. If he was to win this, he's going to have to do it on his power and his striking ability. But if you're looking at power, yeah, you know, Hardy is someone who's got 86% TKO and against Spivak's 38%. No other numbers are massively jumping out for me here on this page other than the submission credentials to Spivak.
Yes.
It's huge in comparison to Hardy. Yeah, so I can see. So I mean, what I'm trying to do is just remove the emotion from it and logically, looking at you guys and what you're all saying, it seems to make sense when you look at the numbers, right? Significant strikes wise, this page says that Hardy is a better striker and better in the stand up, and that's absolutely agreeable. And the grappling wise, it says that Spivak's someone who does it more on the ground. And the only number I'd really care about here for someone like Hardy at this point would be takedown defense, and it's 80%, but you know it's not strong enough. I think I've seen him out in the.
I don't think he's fought many people that will go for a takedown like Taito Basa. He fought last, he got knocked out by. Doesn't really shoot for takedowns. I can't think of anyone else. Martin Green, I think he knocked him out. He doesn't really go for takedowns.
No.
It's just one of them really. I don't. You know, most heavyweights don't really go for takedowns. Don't mix it in. Spivak does, so we're going to see his takedown defense tested, I think. Yeah,
fair enough. Do you get this joke here? I'm just going back to the chats quickly. Hardy versus Jones, winner get a rematch with, and then That was from Damien earlier. He said, I don't get a joke. I still don't get it. I'm so stupid, aren't I?
Hardy versus Jones winner gets the rematch with...
Yeah, ... I'm lost. I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. Next up, we had Taylor Young. He said, I'm leaning towards Spivak as well. You read that one out earlier. Then you got Cy Blake. Cy Blake, welcome into the channel, bro.
Yes, Cy Blake.
He's got 10K on Bryce Mitchell. Is that DQ? That's disqualification, right?
Yeah.
But okay, I mean, it's not win by DQ, but I guess he gets a DQ. And then we got Tommy there. Yes, boys. Hey, Tommy.
Yes,
Thanks
Tommy.
for chiming in, Geese. Thanks for chiming in. And Taylor Young says Greg's poor cardio will be a factor. So yeah, back on the topic.
Factor,
I think you're right.
Factor.
Yeah.
If he gets out the first, it's Spivak's fight.
Yeah. And Damien's just like,
he's going to be gassing for that inhaler.
Yeah. And Damien's just saying there, imagine being heavyweight and missing weight. So,
I think there was one heavyweight that missed weight. I can't remember his name now.
I think there was, it was the only one in history. It wasn't someone, I know who you're on about now.
Brazilian guy, I think.
Yeah.
Well, no, not a Brazilian guy.
Not,
it might have been a Brazilian guy.
No,
I can't remember his name now, but yeah, he did miss weight, yeah.
Blimey, yes. And it was just like, that's never happened before, and it's crazy.
Yeah, the joke's gone now, Damien. Sorry, mate. It went over my head, mate.
Yeah,
it went over my head. I'm trying to think.
Yeah.
It's gone now. He's gone.
And then we got some other prediction there from Dylan St. Germain. Dylan, hey, welcome back in, Geese.
Yes, Dylan.
Awesome. We're going to get to Colby Covington a bit later, but we will remember you got $3 on Colby Covington for that main final later on tonight. If you guys haven't remember, do the People's Picks, because we do have that. Not People's Picks, the Fight Picks, because the app's open and we are taking picks in now. And then Damon's got
yes, get your picks in. That's it. Tougher. Thank you, John. Tougher. That's
tougher.
The one.
Yes. Tougher. Yeah, no, it's embarrassing, wasn't it? Let's check out the
let's get to the gauge,
and find out who's going to take this one based on what the numbers are saying. So if we're looking at striking, would we have to side with Greg Hardy?
Striking wise, no. I think Spivak can outstrike him on the feet. Just
really,
I just personally think he can. Because if you watch Greg Hardy fight, he doesn't really set up his strikes. He will just he's just so confident on his power that he will just rely on it, if you know what I mean. Like, I can understand against Taito Buster when he caught him, he was headhunting, he was coming in like just trying to brawl with him. And I think if Spivak can keep it at range and mix it up, I think he can outstrike Hardy.
Yeah.
So
okay.
I'd potentially give Spivak the striking, but obviously power towards Greg Hardy.
Yeah. Okay. Fair enough then. We could probably go with that. And then grappling as well would be Spivak, I imagine.
Yes, 100%.
For sure. He's got he's got different ways of doing it, standing up. I would have given striking to Hardy, to be fair. I'm not sure if anyone else would agree with that in the chats. All Spiv except power. Okay.
I'm tending to agree with you there, Damo. I'm tending to agree with you because Spivak's quick on the feet.
He is, isn't he?
Obviously, Hardy's slow. And cardio's 120% going
Spivak. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, for sure. I think I'll agree on that. Look, if we look at the numbers and how the gauge goes, it sides with someone like Spivak to get the win on this one. I'll go. I'll see why everyone's leaning towards that way, because ATF's gauge for fights is leaning that way as well. Okay, cool. Sounds decent. Let's get on to the next fight in the card, and we're going to be looking at. Let's see who these boys are.
Who do you think was going to go and win that one, though? Just on a personal level, do you think Spivak gets it done or Hardy gets it done?
If Hardy does it, he does it sheerly on power, as the sort of gauges suggest.
Yeah, I think if it's going to be in the first round, Hardy's going to get the first round, and obviously take him out of there. But if Spivak can survive round one, he will take rounds 2 and 3. Yeah. If he's not won round 1.
Yeah, I'll go with that as well for sure. Spivak's for this to go the distance most likely. Next one up, we got Kevin Holland versus Alex Oliveira. I was actually watching some tape.
Yes, he's making his welterweight debut. Yes, come on, Kevin.
Yeah.
Kevin!
Oh, bruh. Kevin! Sorry for everyone's ears just then. So we've got a record here of 21-7-0 and 22-11-1 and 2 no contests for Oliveira, 1 no contest for someone like Holland. And that no contest came recently, didn't it? We're against
he got knocked out and subbed in the same fight.
I know, but that was crazy. Do you remember watching that? I was literally just thinking, what are you going to do in this particular situation? Yeah,
it was a bit of a hard situation because, like you said, that headbutt did play a massive part of the submission, because he was out when he went down. But there's sometimes, in a fighter's instinct when, because you're getting knocked about left, right, and center on a regular basis, that second shot brings you back. Yeah, and it obviously brought him back, but he was still dazed.
Yeah, he still was.
It was one of them where it was hard.
The submission was led from that same sequence.
Yeah, of course.
It should have been stopped. But he's tough to know what to do in that situation. The Damien in the chat says he's got Holland's second round TKO. Love that.
Yeah, it could happen. I think Oliveira is like, you think that the heavy wrestlers against Kevin Holland, Oliveira's not really one of them heavy wrestlers. He's one of them wrestlers, well, not a wrestler himself. I mean, a grappler, should I say. One of them that will get you to the fence and work you down and weigh you down from there, not getting a takedown out in the open of the middle of the octagon, if you understand what I mean. And I think Kevin Holland, with his takedown defense and training, I think he can weather the storm if Oliveira wants to take it to the fence and try and grapple.
Still yet to see Kevin implement some signs of training.
True. We saw a little bit of it against Dalquist, and I saw a lot of it because he's entered a couple of grappling tournaments, hasn't he? Yeah. And he's done all right. He's done all right.
Okay, good. All right, let's see what the people have said over at the People's Picks page, and then we'll come right back after checking out some of that footage. Enjoy.
Second bout, Kevin Holland versus Alex Oliveira. Kevin Holland making his welterweight debut. I have this as a victory for him in round 1 via TKO or KO. I don't necessarily know if it'll be round 1, but I think him coming down from middleweight, having the size advantage, just how he fights too. I have a bad feeling for Brazilian Cowboy. The weight cut might affect his fighting ability, but he's not the biggest middleweight in the first place, so I think that the weight cut will be fine for him. I'd give him the win, though.
The next fight up is Kevin Holland and Alex "Cowboy" Oliveira. I find to see Holland to bounce back with a win here, and he's moved down to welterweight, and I think he'll get it done with a KO or TKO in round 2. It should be a good fight, a good stand-up affair.
Nice. Some pretty good picks from both Taylor and Liam there. So we're starting with Holland again on this one. And I mean, let's look at the numbers. Reach-wise, he's got 81 inches on Oliveira's 76.5 inches. So it's safe to say in a matchup like this, you want Kevin to be keeping it standing, using his reach advantage and working behind a jab and just sniping away. One of the things you said earlier about, a Damon confident it being done in the second round by TKO, are we confident that his power is also going to join him at this weight class? Because this is a debut for him.
It's true. 100% right. Yeah, that is true.
Right. And, when the fighter's body changes and you change to what sort of makes certain weight classes, it's likely for sometimes the power, we've seen it before, the power just hasn't also transcended to that particular class as well as the fighter who's fighting in it. So it'd be interesting to see how he performs, and there's a lot really going to be riding on whether he sort of sticks around in this weight class.
Exactly, yeah, very true.
Or not, isn't it?
Well, I think it's more of a natural weight class for him.
Yeah, because when he was at middleweight, he didn't really seem that big. He wasn't that big, was he?
Yeah, that's what I mean. It's the same thing with when Izzy tried to go light heavyweight. Yeah. It's just not going to happen. Yeah. You're naturally a middleweight. It's just stay middleweight. But you saw the difference in grappling too. Sorry?
No, but you're looking at Kevin Holland now. He's gone down.
Yeah. No, I know he's talking about moving up. I just mean like for Kevin Holland, it's more of a natural weight class for him to go down. If you understand what I mean. I just think the middleweights are just too big. I think for him. Yeah. You think you've got like the Paulo Costas and Vittoris, and they're just gonna out grapple you to fuck. Well, not Costa, but Vittori.
And you could say the same thing for Izzy, but styles makes fights, right? Styles makes fights.
Yeah, that's it, mate.
So in this matchup, you got a bit of a grappler against striker, right? So if you look at the numbers, if you look at the numbers, naturally, and it makes complete sense, they're looking larger on the left-hand side, which is where Kevin Holland exists, over the blue side on the right-hand side where Oliveira is. And nothing really stands out drastically here. Strikes per minute, healthy for someone like Kevin Holland. That makes sense. He always flushes it out, works behind the jab. But then if you look at the grappling, it's really shifted sides of the table. To the right side, it's all blue. Numbers are a lot higher on the right-hand side, and that's where Oliveira exists. And it just makes complete sense. That takedown defense from Holland would be the critical number to look at on this particular page. And it's at 50%. So it's a coin toss at the moment. It's not great. And it's something that he's hoped to have worked on. But that's where we've seen his demise in the past. Just all down to takedown defense. If that was on point in the past, he could have had certain different outcomes to certain fights. Right.
That's it, mate.
So, nothing largely to standing out massively here.
Like you said, mate, it just all depends on that takedown defense. Like you said, it's 50% there. on the board. But it just, like you said, it all depends how well he's done. We saw a little bit of it against the Dalkos, but again, as Damien said there in the chat, he was weak at middleweight. The middleweights are built different there.
They are.
Like going down to weight. I can't see Oliveira getting like a power double leg or a single leg just in the middle of the octagon. Like they've got to take him to the fence. And I think that's best where Holland is when he's up against the French, because he's crafty in them situations, and I think he'll be okay.
Yeah, that's a fair point. He's someone who's able to really snipe that right hand.
Yes, like you said, he works off his jab perfectly. Yeah.
Absolutely. You just got to get more opportunities to sort of have that sort of narrative with his opponent. Let's have a look at the gauge and find out how these guys match up striking-wise. I mean, striking, no doubt's got to go to Holland, right, in the red corner.
Yeah.
Yeah. And grappling.
I'd agree with you there, mate.
We can certainly go to...
Grappling would be Oliveira,
Oliveira and grappling. And power. Now,
they're both not known for their power, but I'm just picturing the knockout that Holland did against Joaquin Buckley. Just the snipe of the right hand. I can just see that. But I'm trying to think, Oliveira's knocked out quite a few people as well.
I think just the fact that he's coming down from a higher weight class, I'll probably go with Holland.
Yeah, we just hope that, like you said earlier, hopefully it transcends down.
Yeah. And if you look at the numbers, it says 55% TKO for Oliveira, but 52% for Holland. So it's close. It's certainly close. It could be, there's a hair splitting them both. In fact, the numbers all the way down that side are pretty spot on. Even for subs, it's like 23% for Oliveira. It's actually higher for Holland. Interestingly enough, but on power wise, I think I got a side with Holland on that. Not sure if you guys
we got to go
agree
Holland in that one.
Chats, Oliveira is
Speed.
blue belt, guys. So Jordan just saying there in the chat that Oliveira is someone who's a blue belt fighter. He's not particularly, which probably makes sense why the sort of subs lines quite similar, isn't it? So you got 23% for someone like Oliveira and 29% for Holland.
What do you mean he's blue belt? Like, what do you mean there, Jordan? Like, we're trying to say trying to give the grappling to Kevin Holland.
Yeah, I mean that's the point, right? It's in terms of who's better at it. It's still going to be Oliveira. For sure. I don't know something about that last name,
Yeah. Power to Holland though, definitely. Yeah.
You go power on Holland, yeah. All right, let's decide on that one.
And then speed's a funny one because Oliveira can be quick. Obviously, he's light on his feet. He's got that little karate stance. Bounces on the balls of his feet. He's quite quick in and out.
I've got to go Holland on power.
But Holland's quite quick with his hands.
Exactly. He's really fast.
And you think if he's fast at middleweight, he should be. You're saying that Holland's a black belt, but like, is there many submissions that you've seen that Holland pull off?
Blue belt.
Like just because he's a grade above him doesn't mean that you're going to win them grappling exchanges. Like we've seen more of it from Oliveira. We've seen more of it from Oliveira. You know that as well, JK. Come on.
Yeah, that's so true. You can look at the credentials, but when you're watching the fights, you see how Holland does on the ground. He doesn't do fantastic.
He's got a black belt, but he can't defend a takedown.
Yeah. I mean, who else was it in the UFC who I thought had been found out? Because it's just like, I think it was Tyron Woodley. Tyron Woodley's like a black belt, isn't he?
Yeah, Damien's cleared it out for us. Damo's cleared it out for us, mate. It's all right.
No, he's got mixed up. Black, not black belt. He's black. Yeah, that is true. But all I'm on about is Tyron Woodley, right? He had a black belt credential, but he was the worst when it got taken to the ground.
Yeah,
and it's like, surely that's he paid for it somewhere.
Yeah, trying to go for guillotine and then rupturing a rib against Kobe Cumberson. Like, it's crazy.
That was insane.
Cardio, I'll go for Holland as well. Because I've seen Oliveira gas loads.
Yeah? Okay. All right. I would have... Yeah. Okay, fair enough. Well, then look at that gauge. There's, again, another one-sider for the red corner. That sits it firmly over for Holland.
And I would pick Holland to win the fight as well.
Yeah, I would as well. How would you see him getting it done? With like the full 3 rounds, reckon?
Second round TKO.
I mean, it sounds like we're counting Oliveira out a little bit, doesn't it? But Oliveira is no slouch.
It does, but I just can't, like, I know I'm being quite rash in my comments and saying I just can't see Oliveira getting that takedown in open space. He has to take it to the fence. By all means, he probably could take it to the fence and take him down from there and obviously work for a submission, which he's been known for in the past. But I just think that Kevin Holland's
it's not just
pace and he's going to be crafty in them situations. He might even launch them elbows in there and just to discourage him.
Yeah, fair play. That's true. I love to see it on the way, but yeah, I'm looking at it. I'm happy to go Kevin Holland on this one. Just looking at how that all matches up, it makes sense. But anything can happen. This is the MMA maths, and this is how it looks with maths.
Yeah,
but,
exactly. That's what I mean.
It's not always the case when you're throwing fists. Anything can happen. Okay, so let's go back to the drawing board here and look at the next fight on the card. We are going to be looking at. Do you want to walk us into fight number 3, Ash?
Yeah, we've got Edson Barboza versus Bruce Mitchell.
Bryce Mitchell.
Sorry,
Yeah,
Bryce Mitchell. I do apologize.
That's right.
We've just been talking about grappling and striking. This is the perfect example for striker versus grappler.
Yeah. This is
this fight's so interesting. It's unreal. I can't wait to see this fight. Obviously, you got the knockout artist Edson Barboza against this. Like I'm gonna say, like submission specialist of Mitchell, obviously picking up the only second twister in UFC history.
The guy's relentless down there. Do you remember that?
The guy is relentless down there.
Oh, mate, he's constantly looking to get you back down to the mat, and he just wraps you up so tight. It's insane.
Yeah.
I think it's a masterpiece. Honestly, it's like a piece of art. The way that he goes about doing what I love to watch him work. I really do.
Yeah.
And it's only a few grapplers, right? Personally, there's only a few grapplers that can captivate me when they do what they do on the ground. Because sometimes it's like you take them down. This is boring. Come on. But someone like Bryce, it's like I'm on the edge of my seat. I want to find out what he does next.
Yeah, you don't know what he's going to do next.
Yeah, for sure, man. He's great at what he does. Not to take anything away from Edson Barboza, and I feel like in this particular matchup, this is a really tough one for me. The other two relatively easy, but this is really tough for me because
I'm on the fence on this one.
Yeah.
I'm against the fence on this
one. Right? I need the numbers to help me on this, and I need you guys in the chats to sort of pipe up and let me know what you think on this because it is generally quite a tough one. You got Barboza, who is 22-10-0, and Bryce Mitchell, who's 14-1. Now, I thought Bryce Mitchell was undefeated.
He is.
He is undefeated.
Yeah,
he hasn't got a loss at all. Because looking at his Wikipedia page, he's got.
I don't know why. Yeah, I don't know why that one's there. He is undefeated. Yeah.
Right. Okay. So that's UFC with a boo-boo again. They've done it multiple times this week.
Yeah, they have.
This month even. Someone is not on it. And then of course you're looking at height, reach advantage. Okay, so this is interesting. Edson Barboza 75 inches on Bryce Mitchell 70 inches. Striker, grappler. So what you can see going to happen here is he's going to be working by using his reach and keeping that range. However, Bryce's last outing, he was against, what's this guy's name? Andre Fili? Touchy Fili?
Yeah.
Reach was exactly the same. Yeah, 75 inches. And look what he done to Andre Fili. So does your reach matter against someone like Bryce Mitchell when you're that good at what you do?
No, because I think he closed the distance early. Like you said, he closed the distance, make it ugly, pressure him, wear on him, take him down, potentially get a sub or even not, just grind out a decision.
Fair. But remember about 2 fights ago, before Edson Barboza's last loss, we were just saying about how this guy's on a tear and he's going to do, well, I think it was just 2 wins in a row, to be fair. But we were so motivated by how he performed in those wins. We was pretty confident he's going to be contending for in title contention, right?
Yeah.
And now if we say he's going to lose to this guy, are we counting him out a bit too soon? Now.
Yeah, that's it. We got some picks on this one.
Oh, yeah. I forgot about the picks. Let's have a look at the picks. And then we'll come right back.
Then looking at Edson Barboza and Bryce Mitchell, this should be a fairly intriguing matchup. And it's the one fight that I'm very much on the fence on. They're just so different in their styles. Barboza has a clear striking advantage, while Mitchell is an out-and-out grappler with a heavy wrestling base. So whoever keeps the fight in their territory wins for me. But if I had to pick someone, I'd go for Barboza. I think he'll just have too much experience for him. He'll be able to stuff out a lot of the takedowns, and I think he'll get it done over a 3-round decision.
Moving on, Edson Barboza versus Bryce Mitchell. This one is pretty closely contested. There's only slight favorites on this one. So it really comes down to the individual, to choose. But I think Bryce Mitchell is going to end up getting the win. It's very possible that Edson Barboza could finish him on the feet, but I think he will utilize his wrestling and his takedowns and try to look for a submission. So yeah, I'm gonna give Bryce Mitchell the decision victory. Yeah, I don't think he'll be able to get the submission, but I think he'll look for it.
Nice, Tay. Awesome. And
Good
Lee
picks.
in there again.
Good picks.
And we've finally got some controversy. We've got some people going head to head on this one. We're split. You got one for Bryce Mitchell, one for Edson Barboza. Where do you go?
What do you do?
Let's see if the numbers can help us. Significant strikes. Yep, Edson Barboza. That makes sense. Significant strikes absorbed per minute. Edson Barboza as well, which makes sense. You know, someone like Bryce Mitchell, always on the ground, always rolling, always grappling. You're absorbing their strikes. And that's where he does his best work as well. So he'll look to... he might use some strikes while standing for a bit of a distraction, but once he gets you on the ground, that's when he's going to be getting all of those strikes.
When he shines.
Yeah. It's all
I was watching Embedded, and he was saying it like it's like when he gets you to like in the fight, it's like a cooker, and he's like once the fight starts, he's turned it on, he's turned the cooker on, and then once he gets a hold of you, he's turned the heat up, and he goes, once you're down, then we're cooking.
Brilliant.
Crazy.
Yeah, he's a chef. He is in his own right. I mean, there's so many ways to describe this guy. I've got a nice little gem I'll weird out on the fight night itself when we do the breakdown of the individual.
Oh, but,
yeah. I'm quite fond of it.
The Arkansas himself.
Oh, mate,
Bryce Mitchell.
He's quite the artist, yeah, for sure. Stay tuned for that one. And then here's something though. Grappling wise, naturally, takedown average 3.26 on Mitchell's side, 0.4 for someone like Barboza who likes to use his hands. Accuracy, it seems to be good for both, but of course, there's far more going for someone, far more weight on the blue side for someone like Bryce Mitchell. And takedown defense, 78%, nearly 80%. Now his defense is really good. This is Barboza. Bryce Mitchell, it's not good because he doesn't care. He wants to go to the ground. You know, it's low, but that's actually how he likes it. And the submission average being really high for him too. So do you think, looking at these numbers, do you think the fight's going to be standing or is it going to be on the ground? And that's also going to answer who controls.
I can't not see Mitchell getting into the ground. I think he will get into the ground because we've seen Barboza sort of shiver under the pressure. Like we saw Khabib do. I know Khabib's a lot different to obviously Mitchell, and I know it's a different weight class. But I don't know just how relentless that Mitchell is. I think he can get it to the floor. It's just how he sets it up. Because the one thing that I will say is Mitchell does need to set up his takedowns because we saw in Barboza versus Benil Dariush. We saw Dariush trying to go for a little technique where he would jab, shoot for a takedown. He'd done that one too many times, and Barboza read it. And when he shot for a takedown, then that's when Barboza did a flying knee. So obviously Mitchell does need to sort of work on his I know he doesn't care, like we've mentioned, but he does need to try and set his takedowns up, and I think he will. He's got the brain to do it.
Yeah, I hear, and he's quite good at doing that. But as well as they're just relentless, he'll constantly keep going at him, and that's exhaustion in itself as well. When you're constantly doing it, but constantly having to fight it off. For the fighter who's standing, he's just stand up and keep your head high so I can hit you. It's quite frustrating too. There's a funny comment here in the chat, so I gotta read it. It's Taylor Young. He's saying Edson won't see Bryce coming in those camo shorts, which is true. You know, not only is he one of the two people to have ever pulled off the twister, he's like the one of the only two UFC fighters who've been able to acquire custom shorts. I'm excited to see what they look like in the Venom.
Yeah, they are sick. Have you seen them?
Yeah, I saw. Well, you saw the Venom ones already. I've not seen the Venom ones. I saw the ones in when Reebok done them.
Yeah, no, they're saucy.
The only other fighter, of course, who got custom shorts being Conor McGregor. He got him custom green champion shorts, didn't he? But man, that's insane. It makes a lot of people
I'm scared to get into it.
What the gauges? Shall we look at the gauge?
I'm scared to get into it, mate.
Okay. So we've got to talk about striking. We can give that comfortably to the red corner, can't we? That's Barboza all day, striking.
Yeah.
Grappling. Okay. We have to give that to Bryce. Yeah.
Striking, Barboza.
Yep.
Grappling,
Bryce, right?
Mitchell.
Yeah.
Power, Barboza.
Power, Barboza. Okay, agreed on that. And then speed.
I don't know, because like you got to give it to Barboza, man. Like, how quick he is on the feet, man. Like his kicks are just so quick.
True.
And then cardio. I don't know though, because Barboza's been so many 5-round fights, And obviously, I don't think I've seen him tired, but I don't think I've seen Mitchell tired either.
It's hard, isn't it?
Now, this is what gets tricky for me. Who gets cardio?
Who gets the cardio? What do you guys say in the chats? Who gets cardio on this one?
I think I'm going to lean towards Mitchell a little bit.
Yeah.
Just purely because Barboza will throw a lot more and he will get tired.
Mitch is quite relentless as well, isn't he, at the takedowns? It's really hard to say. I don't know if there's numbers here that can help me on this one. Let's look at average fight time. Average fight time's actually around the same for both of them, which is impressive. So it's 11 minutes and 28 average fight time. That can't be right. Yeah. Yeah. And then
I think I've seen Barboza gas a little bit more. So I'm gonna lean towards Mitchell just purely because of his style. But then again, his style could tire himself, if not. I mean, all the grappling and
it can do. But I don't know. He sort of lives in that as well. I've never seen him fatigued. I've seen Barboza still throw and have output,
when he's tired,
but be tired as well. So I've seen him work hard for it. I haven't really seen Bryce. I mean, I've seen him breathe heavy, and then he's like back on it, and he's he just seems to do what he does. He's got plenty of opportunities.
We'll give it to Mitchell.
Yeah. Okay. So looking at the numbers here again, we're going red corner. 3 ticks to the blue 2. But does that mean you go red corner? Is the grappling going to be significant enough? Is the cardio going to be significant enough to just nullify the striking, the power? Because if you nullify the power and the striking, then effectively you've got now 2 blue ticks against 1.
Yes, cheers for that, Taylor. Taylor saying he give a slight advantage to cardio to Mitchell. Yeah.
Perfect. Yeah. Okay, good. It's only slight as well. But do you think then that's where we'll go on picks on that? I'm torn in this one because I think this
is the thing for picking wise. Obviously I've been watching Barboza, and this is sometimes what gets me down in my picks because on paper Mitchell wins this for me. Just purely because of how good he is on the ground and how relentless he is. But this is where I would kind of side with the fighter I like and in Barboza. And that's where I sometimes been going wrong in my picks because I've been picking the person that I like rather than the person that should win the fight. But you can never count out Barboza. Like we mentioned, he's got the power. He's got you can never count him out with his leg kicks. He could like leg kick the shit out of Bryce and nullify his takedown attempts. We just don't know.
Yeah. He really did bring the fight to Giga, didn't he?
Yeah, but that's what I mean. Them two are kicking each other and obviously he said he was disappointed in that one when I saw his press conference in the week. He said that he was disappointed in himself. He said he knows he's better than Giga, but it's crazy. Yeah,
that's so true. And I just think something like this. He got 2 going punches on round 3 of the fight, but he really did sort of. And now, if it's hard, He did great against Shane Burgos as well. I reckon we can still see this guy going up rather than he's not started his down.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It's really hard to say. I think I like Barboza for him. I think he's going to be able to use shovels, uppercuts, and he's going to stifle the takedown.
My classic saying, shovels, mate.
Yeah, I love that. And I think he's just going to stifle the takedowns. He knows how to stuff takedowns. He's got a decent enough defense to be able to sort of stuff the head and get back to his feet, I think. And he might have enough for Bryce. And Bryce is just too new and too young. He's not there yet.
Yes, Damo.
What's he saying?
He just trying to get at me here, saying like when Izzy completely outclassed Rob. Sorry about that. Right, that's what I'm saying. On paper, Izzy would win the fight for me, but I just like Rob, so that's why I went Rob. But he won plenty of examples. He won 2 of the rounds and one was close. So people keep thinking it was an absolute dominant performance from Izzy, but it's closer than people think. I know Izzy won it fair and square, which is fair play to him. That's what I'm trying to say. That's where sometimes my picks go wrong, where Izzy on paper should win the fight, but I just went for Rob because I like him.
All right, let's get on to the next fight then, and let's call it just a split decision. I'm going with Barboza, I think, and I think you quite like Bryce for it. So
I'm going to go Barboza as well.
Oh, you do? Yeah, it's a tough
one. Mitchell will win the fight, but I'll pick Barboza.
All right, so let's see who's up next. We are looking at the fight number 4 on the card, the co-main. Walk us through it, Ash.
Co-main event, and this one's the step in why we've got RDA taking on Roberto MOICANO. Again, as we mentioned at the start of this, it could have been Islam Makhachev. I'm glad it's not because this one's more competitive fight, RDA versus MOICANO. It's crazy. Both Brazilian. both kind of veteran. Americano's been in a little bit less than, but he's had a lot of fights at featherweight. Americano has. He's making that leap to lightweight. He's on a 2-fight win streak. Crazy. I think he's got 2 submissions as well. I think as well. So the guy, it's crazy.
It's good.
The guy, and to mention as well, I forgot how big this guy is. The guy's huge.
Yeah.
And like this fight's at 160 as well, so he's going to be even bigger.
Okay, right. Yeah, he's 5'8". I mean, the taller. You on about MOICANO being taller?
Yeah, I think Americano's taller. Yeah.
Yeah, he is. Yeah, Renato he's taller by 5'11". Well, all right, let's see what the people had to say about this, and then we'll come right back in with the numbers.
Nice.
MOICANO and RDA will win easily. Experience, man. Experience.
Moving on to the co-main event. Catchweight 160. RAFAEL dos Anjos versus RENATO MOICANO. Much respect to MOICANO for stepping in on short notice to make sure this main event stayed together for us all, you know. But I think that lies in where his defeat will also stem from as well, is a lack of preparation.
Okay, thanks for that. That is King Corn 5, and that's our friend Mo.
Yes.
Thanks again for your...
Thank you for your pick, mate.
Absolutely, that's awesome. Really good one. Down by the gym, I see. I've not long come back from
I was just about to, mate, I was just about to mention that. Having a little workout, were you, mate?
Yeah, you know what I mean? Push it louder. I mean, look, you can do these videos absolutely everyone. I love that. He was just in the middle of a workout, and he's like, do you know what? I got to send my picks into ATF. You know what? Yeah, and then of course we had Tay there as well, and he chimed in with his pick for this one, also going with RDA. Just thinking that MOICANO just didn't have the right preparation time in order to be ready for this matchup. So that's why he thinks that RDA will take it. So
Damo said he thought it was Figgy. he thought that Mohammed was Figgy.
Oh, Figgy. Oh, really?
Yeah, mate. If he done his blonde hair, you never know. He could look like him, I tell you.
I guess he probably could, right? He really could. He's just in the gym getting ready for the next one. Yeah, King Corn. Brilliant. Love that. All right, cool. So we've got numbers here. No knockouts. MOICANO's got no knockouts. Am I looking at that correctly? Wow.
Crazy.
No one's done by knockout by MOICANO. He's got about 56% of his finishes by sub, which is significantly more than RDA. And then he's got 44% going to decision. RDA's got a solid 50% of his edges going to decision. So yeah, some high numbers there. Average fight time, I'm reading this out because it's significant. You got RDA with that 14 minutes. And then you got...
veteran.
Yeah, then you got the 8 over there for...
just 8, yeah?
Just the 8. I'm thinking this is hours. I don't know how this doesn't look right, does it? But okay, significant strikes. So here we go. We're looking at someone with like MOICANO 5.12, and then you got RDA with 3.49 on the strike numbers here. Looking at this particular page on strikes, nothing stands out drastically enough other than the land.
No.
MOICANO's a busier fighter. That's what we're learning from this page here, I'd say. He's got more of the output. And he's just far more active. Significant strikes landed and all that sort of stuff, and absorbed. Pretty much bounce around the same numbers. Let's see if there's an advantage in grappling.
Ooh, this is where it gets dicey.
Yeah, takedown average. It's doubles. It's actually quite close. It doesn't double, so it's 1.93 for RDA.
It's gonna be so evenly matched down there. It's crazy.
Yeah, takedown accuracy is there for MOICANO. Takedown defense is there for MOICANO. And submission average isn't too far different from either of them either. So who do you reckon, if this fight's going to end up on the ground, who do you reckon is going to initiate that? Is that something MOICANO's going to want to do, or is that something RDA is going to want to do?
Why say that to me? I don't know, because we all know that's what MOICANO kind of does. He's done his last 2 fights. He's worked for the takedown. Yeah. He worked for it against Jai Herbert, got the sub. He worked for it against Alex Hernandez. But then again, I think he rocked him on the feet, didn't he? He rocked him with his hands, actually.
MOICANO.
MOICANO, he rocked Hernandez with his hands and then jumped on the submission.
Yes. No, he was proficient. He was so good.
Yeah, so,
so true.
This is what I mean. This is why it's so tough.
I
think if anyone's going to initiate a takedown, I think it would be RDA just to mix it up.
Yeah. I think it's going to lean on all
yes, Damo.
experiences there. Let's have a look. What do you say? Nah, live from Ash's window with Francis.
He's going to do his UFC 273 picks.
Yeah.
Live from the window.
Oh, brilliant. Brilliant. Oh, I see, from all different locations around.
I bet, to be fair, mate, I better go and feed him. I've not fed him in a couple of days.
Mate, the guy's huge. I was going to ask you, what are you feeding him? All right, so we'll have to get into the averages for this one then, but you know, it's clear with the numbers, it doesn't it's a pretty even matchup. So when we said earlier about how someone like Makhachev and MOICANO sort of stepping in last minute, Makhachev would have been quite exciting. It's a fight we've been hoping to see for a while, but this one, as you said, Ash, quite rightly, this is far more competitive.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
Let's see what the averages say. So this is making me sick. Striking, who gets it?
Come
on, Damo.
It's got to be RDA, man. It's got to be RDA. It's got to be RDA.
Yeah, okay. We'll go RDA and striking. But then also we'll go RDA with the power too, because if you look at knockouts, I don't believe MOICANO's knocked anyone out. Yeah. So grappling. Where's it going? I know.
Shit on that. I don't know, man.
Taylor Young there in the chat's chiming in. He says he's going RDA decision on this one.
Yeah, I think he could grind a decision out, but like when we're trying to do the little gauge, who gets grappling, man? Because obviously MOICANO's got quite a few submissions on his resume. I know so is RDA as well. Oh damn. RDA, man.
RDA? On grappling?
Just
about on grappling. Okay, well, think about speed and cardio. How do we go with that? So for speed, who gets the speed in this one? Who's fast?
I might have to go RDA as well.
Yeah. He's quite fast with his hands. I like MOICANO for his counter ability. I'll probably side with MOICANO in it, only just because I'm remembering the last fight he was out against
Hernandez.
Hernandez is someone who's particularly quite fast as well, and I think we did the same breakdown there, didn't we? Yeah, we did. It was for UFC 271, so we did the same breakdown, and it was so tough. But with MOICANO, he was able to counter really quickly, and his hands were just so good. He had a quality check left hook, which almost found the mark.
He does have good counter strikes.
Yeah. So I would toss this one out of generosity over to there we go.
Yes, Damo saying Francis, keep the door, feed me now, Ash.
He loves
and then
that,
he goes, for your information, Francis gets the grappling. Mate, he's going to 100% get a grappling in the next fight. 100%.
Next fight.
Yeah. Even if it's against Curtis Razor Blades.
Yeah. I mean, well, go on. What did Damien say about him last time? He said Francis was practically
the Damian Maia,
There we go.
Heavyweight Damian Maia.
All of a sudden. That still gets me to this day. But, you know, you just think that when he's about to leave to go to boxing, he decides to now use his grappling credentials.
Yeah.
And then cardio, you know, you got someone in the game for so long like RDA.
Yeah, you got RDA, man. He's a veteran in the game. He's been so many five-round wars.
For sure. And let's not forget, this guy's prepared himself for a 5-round fight tonight.
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
And then you got someone like MOICANO, who hasn't been particularly prepared for that. So this fight, do you know, because it's a last-minute step-in, is it going to be the full 5 rounds or 3?
Actually, I don't know, actually, because I think if it's Islam... JK, do us a wazzer and check if it's 5 rounds, will you?
Yeah, I'm not sure how long the fight goes on for. I don't think it'll be fair for him stepping in last minute anyway, but...
don't know.
And I know they do that sometimes.
Is it 5 rounds?
Just knowing when they do it, I don't know. They just sort of choose and decide when.
I still got RDA 3 or 5 anyway.
But
obviously, you look at the numbers there, though. This is a lot closer than it shows, just purely because of the grappling exchanges will be different. MOICANO is big, but I'm just going on experience.
Yeah, I'd say so. I'm happy to settle down on that one. We'll get some information on that a bit later on how long this round is, this fight is. But
yes, mate. Obviously, Damien saying that that reversal was insane. I'm gonna have to get a clip of my reaction because that was insane. Do you know when Francis grabbed the heel of Gain? Oh my god!
Oh yeah, they were just rolling.
Insane.
I know. I mean, I've seen some tape of Francis rolling with Usman. I always like to call him Usman Masvidal. Well, Kamaru Usman, and that was pretty crazy. That was pretty crazy. Just on the mat, just rolling around. And I forgot he could do that. You know, but that would look fun.
Man.
All right.
Right, main event time, baby.
Indeed. Here we are, and we are talking about. Go on, walk us into it.
Colby Chaos Covington versus Jorge Masvidal. Again, it's crazy. This fight is so interesting. Obviously, again, we could kind of use what we've been using throughout the breakdown of these people's picks: striker versus grappler. Is it that? Could we call it that? We kind of can, because you got the striking of Masvidal and the grappling of Colby.
Yeah, I think we're confident using it in this
fight, man.
scenario, stronger than any other, to be fair. You're 100% right. You got 16-3-0 for someone like Colby Covington here in the UFC. Then you got a whopping 35-15 for Jorge Masvidal. You know, I forget he's been around for that long, just because he looks completely different from how he did when he first stepped in the octagon. You know, like baby Masvidal, you just saw he's almost like two different individuals. But that number's significant, right? It is double the amount of wins than Colby Covington and 5 times the amount of losses than Colby Covington. I mean, does that equal some kind of experience? I think so.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, you've got to implement that there. Yeah, of course.
All right. So let's have a look at what the people had to say about this matchup, and then we'll look into the numbers shortly afterwards.
I have Colby Covington in the main event against Jorge. He is a great wrestler, and Jorge is very liable to getting taken down. Thank you.
The main event for 272, Colby Covington versus Jorge Masvidal. I see the match going for Colby Covington, 3rd or 4th round, submission or KO. Because I don't think Masvidal is a 5th-round guy. I never thought he was, but he's weakened after his 2 losses from Kamaru Usman, and he didn't recover. Now he chased the paper. The way I think about the welterweight, they are like the character of Street Fighter, the video game. Kamaru is Rio, and Ken is Colby. And Jorge Masvidal is Okuma, who can finish a guy with 1 punch. That's good, actually. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
And then on to the main event, Covington and Masvidal. This one I'm really excited for and I can't wait for. So I'm definitely favouring Colby to get the win in this one, either over the distance or getting a finish in the championship rounds. I think he'll set a relentless pace, and if he can get an early takedown or 2, he'll grind out the win. For me, Masvidal's only chance are KO or TKO in the first 2 rounds. And then again, if the beef is as real as depicted, I don't really see it impacting Colby too much, but it may impact Masvidal's game plan, and it might kind of make him be overly aggressive, and that will make the takedowns that bit easier for Covington. So again, that's another advantage I'm giving to Colby. I suppose, yeah, so that's my picks. So thanks, guys.
I have Colby Covington in the main event against Jorge. He is...
Okay, awesome. And we're back. Wow,
okay.
I ran some of them twice. I thought I missed out one of the picks, but no, we had them all in there, didn't we? So we had Chris, of course, he's gone for Colby Covington. Then we had Mohammed chiming in the second round, secondly there. Figgy, if you like. And he went for Colby Covington as well. Went 4th or 5th, but he's banking on Jorge Masvidal to tire and just not have the gas tank for those later rounds.
Yeah, possibly.
I did like his comparison to Street Fighter, though. That's quite good, actually. You know, I could have watched it again. That's what I almost did. And then, of course, we had Liam there at the back end as well, starting with the abilities of Colby Covington. Just uses wide toolkit to get the job done. Look, some great picks. There really were. And I don't think numbers-wise can tell you anything different. I think it's going to be matching up to exactly what people were saying there. You got the grappler in someone like Masvidal. Sorry, Colby.
Sorry, I was just reading out some of the I was just reading the comments. Damo saying, unpopular opinion, Colby's a better striker. Oh, come at me. Oh,
let's talk about that. Let's talk about that. Okay.
Ooh.
So when you're looking at striker, would you for whoever's got the most KOs by double?
To be fair, mate, you do have a point. You do have a little bit of a point there, Damo, just purely because the 2 fights that Colby had with Usman, the first fight for me against Usman, Colby did so well. Like the first, the second, and third round, he was doing so well. He was he was keeping up with Usman. Like the shots he was landing were insane. But I think he started off the second fight a little bit slower than he did the first fight. That's why Usman looked a little bit better. But yeah, Colby does have underrated striking. You are right there.
He does. I'd say underrated. Yeah, fair enough. But if it's better though, if you're looking at the numbers here, you got TKO or KO, 46% for someone like Masvidal and 25% for someone like Colby. Can you say he's got better striking? I mean, I guess someone like Masvidal's got double the amount of mileage as well. Bear in mind.
Yeah, that's true.
But average fight time is around the same. Funny enough, 15 minutes for someone like Colby and 13 for someone like Masvidal. And it's actually less than, but that's just because Colby goes for more decisions than someone like Masvidal, who likes to get done with his hands predominantly most of the time. Okay, so let's significant strike wise, it's actually quite even. So this supports what you're saying. It supports what you're saying. Landed per minute is pretty much bang on. It's significant strikes. It sides a little bit more over there with Masvidal, but absorbed per minute and defense wise, on the other hand, it's not too far to separate them each.
Yeah, Damo's spot on with that comment.
Go on, let's hear it.
He's gone striker. Kobe's better. Boxing, Jorge's better, but it's not a boxing match. It's true.
Interesting.
So true.
Interesting. So if you think about striking, you know, a lot of the time you think it's only with your hands, but it's about how.
Yeah, that's what I mean. The striking that we're putting up there is not like we've said before, because of striking Barboza as well with his kicks. It's, like you said, it's MMA. It's kicks as well as your hands.
Yeah. Someone who could be a diverse striker or creative striker has different ways of finding a target with different parts of their body. You heard me right. Different parts of their body. So yeah, it's sort of bearing that in mind as well. So yeah, okay, it's a really good point. Jorge does pose himself to be a really good boxer. But you got to be smarter than that, I think, against someone like Colby. And it's mad, you know. Honestly, I'm looking at the experience of Jorge, and that's almost getting me to sort of side with him a bit. But we'll have to get into that breakdown and engage in a moment after as well. So then we got grappling here, 4.1 for someone like Colby, and then 1.54 for Jorge. So look, it's obvious that grappling wise, it all sits in the hands of someone like Covington. But get this.
Yeah.
Whilst he's always doing the takedowns, he's got the higher average. Guess who has got more submission average?
Jorge.
Actually, Jorge Masvidal. Yeah.
Really?
0.35 to Colby's 0.13. And that's because Colby tends to get the fight to the ground. He tends to do his work from there. But he is I guess if I summarize him up in like one word, one sentence, he's like a well-rounded fighter, but a non-stop wrestler as well at the same time. He mixes in his wrestling so well, and he's so relentless on it, and he's constantly just creating a problem for his opponents to have to constantly work with. They get used to the striking with him, he takes them down. They get used to the ground game with him, he stands them up. You know, and it's that sort of that he's so uneasy or awkward to fight with. He's been able to sort of find the advantages in most of those his fights. Let's look at the averages.
So I was just reading Damo's comment saying about Masvidal, majority only kicks to the body. Yeah, he had that one, obviously flying knee. But Colby used head kicks during combos and flying knees to back up Usman. Yeah, that is a great point, mate. Yeah, because I was watching Dan Hardy when he was breaking it down as well, and he was saying that the reason Colby sometimes obviously uses the flying knees is to close the distance to get to that takedown. And he used a great example. Khabib used to do that. Khabib used to like lunge at his opponents just to close the distance.
Yeah, that's where he wants to be. He wants to be inside. And one thing that Usman did really well in that fight against Colby was, especially in the initial rounds before Colby really got into his strides, and this is the last fight one about UFC 268, and that was his ability to make his own. Make him very dangerous. Like he staked his area. He knew where his range was, and Colby knew if he stood into that range, he's going to get hurt because he was so good and proficient at sort of punishing him every time he came in. It was difficult for Colby to do that. And so flying knees and just chaos is really what he had to create, and that's how he was able to do it in the chaos. And like his name's Chaos, but when he created that sort of mayhem for Usman, he was able to get the takedown in the exchanges, you know, on the counter, duck underneath the strike when he forces Usman to commit. And, you know, if we're talking a bit about strategy here, the numbers couldn't give us too much information other than, you know, we know who the striker is, we know who the grappler is. I mean, controversy to opinion, I guess, there with Damon, who thinks
of course,
as well. But I guess when you look at the fighting style, you tend to just also side and realize the fact, use Usman as a benchmark, and you sort of weigh these guys up against how they perform towards Usman.
That's true.
Colby did better. He did more.
Yeah, he did 100%. Yeah, in both fights as well. I know, obviously, that Masvidal's first fight was on short notice. But even in the second one, he's got flatlined. So he didn't do better than
yeah, exactly.
It's crazy, isn't it?
Exactly. Yeah, you would have thought he'd have done better with a fight camp, but nope.
Yeah, exactly. With a full camp, he got knocked the fuck out.
Exactly. Let's have a look what his chat is here from Taylor Young. He says, I've always considered Jorge on the level of being very good, but just not elite. There's levels, and I think Colby will show it. I mean, that's great. Very well said. I mean, Jorge is someone who's good. I feel like for Jorge to get this done, he's got to show us that he can be composed, that he can have a strategy.
But this is the thing as well. I've just remembered my point now.
Manic. Sorry, go on.
Yeah, exactly. He needs to turn it into a brawl, for one. And two, he kind of needs to... I'm not saying that Colby is a striker that Darren Till is, but we all saw how quickly Masvidal closed the distance on Darren Till to land in that knockout. Can he do that to someone like Colby, this concept like Till as well? Colby's probably going to be moving and trying to go for takedowns. Can he get that close? Can he land in that the power shot against someone like Colby? We've all seen Colby's got a decent chin. We saw Usman knock out Masvidal. We've seen Usman test the chin of Colby. I know he TKO'd him in the first one, their first fight, but he wasn't out like Masvidal was.
That was one of my final conclusions as well when I watched it back, that tape.
Yeah.
It was like, he has a chin.
He does have a great chin.
I would hope if Masvidal was to do this, he was going to do it on power and be able to knock him out. But then thinking about how he resisted the power of Usman when he got a clean connection. I mean, if there was a bit more in the round, then he would have been out.
I just think he's got such a great chin, and I think if
he resisted it,
if Masvidal lands one big shot, Colby would be wise to it, and then obviously work around that and just dominate him wrestling wise. And I just think he's going to win by decision.
Yeah, just there in the chats, Taylor Young says, I personally see Jorge winning aside. Don't see Jorge winning, aside from chinning Colby early, and I think that's very unlikely. And then Damien says, I've give striking to Colby and grappling to Colby, power to Jorge, speed to Jorge, cardio to Colby. So whilst we're looking at the page there,
that's probably where I'm looking as well, brother. That's where I'm looking as well, mate.
It's good to see. All right, so what do we say? Striking goes to who'd you get?
We're going to give all the grappling to Colby, and then like Damo said, Masvidal's going to get the takedown.
Imagine. And then
but striking like you said, it's opinionated really, because
and if we start with the numbers and look what it says here,
that's what I mean. If you go with the numbers and you go with what you can't, it's one of them really, because we've seen Jorge like we just mentioned, knock out Darren Till. We've seen him starched on the Cerrone. We've seen him hang in there and strike with the likes of Wonder Boy. And he didn't do too badly against Wonder Boy. I know Wonder Boy outpointed him, but he did okay. We're really
going to need help with striking, to be fair. Really going to need help with that one.
Striking's, I think it's just more of an opinion, really. Like Damo said it perfectly, boxing-wise, Jorge, because he's got great body shots. He's got a nice, obviously, boxing-orientated stance and things like that, the way he moves. Yep. And then you're looking at Colby, it's just the output. The amount of strikes, he will throw double what Masvidal does.
Yeah. Yeah,
and he has a great head kick, like he mentioned as well. He used it against Usman. He wobbled him with it.
I wish Colby threw more leg kicks on Usman when he was in the octagon with him. He just didn't.
Yeah, no. The first fight, he threw a couple of decent body strikes. Yeah. And he wobbled him in their first fight. I can't remember if it was round 2 or 1, but he wobbled him with it again. But yeah, it's one of them where it's opinionated.
That was in the second fight as well, I think. One of the latter rounds. Okay, so power. I think looking at the numbers,
power goes to Masvidal.
Jorge gets the power, doesn't he?
Yeah.
And then speed wise, who's fastest? It's got to be.
I think Colby's quite fast,
Yeah. And then cardio will go Colby as well.
Cardio goes to the cardio king, mate.
And then it just leaves striking up in the air. Is striking going to be Jorge? Is striking going to be Masvidal? Well, that's the same person, isn't it? Is it going to be Colby? Is it going to be Jorge?
Is it going to be Jorge or Masvidal?
You're right.
It's got to be Masvidal.
All right. And then Taylor Young saying, Juiceman didn't chin Colby, so I don't think Jorge will do it. I might be tempted to do this, which is give it to both. I might be tempted to do that. It's a matter of opinion. It's so close. It's hard
It is, but this is what I'm saying. Sometimes when we do the people's picks, obviously, as you said at the start, we're trying to tell you how to think, and this is what exactly what we're trying to say.
Yeah.
Because you got the boxing orientated Masvidal, and you got the output and the onslaught, and the more strikes and the more mixing it up with Colby. So you could technically give it to Colby, but because of how kind of good and how he implements his strikes, like I said, against Donald Cerrone and the likes of Darren Till, Masvidal is up there.
Yeah, he is. That he is. Okay, we'll have to leave it at that, I think. It's controversial, subject to opinion, really, in that one, but it's going to be a good main event anyway. Something I'm really
cardio. Yes, T.
Yeah, what did you say?
Colby has claimed his porn star cardio.
Oh, right. Love it. I mean, he's definitely no nerd or virgin, is he? All right, so that's pretty cool. I'm happy with that. That looks, to be fair. I mean, I think a lot of tonight is sort of sat down with the red corner. There could be some toss-ups in there based on.
Yeah, to be fair, it has a lot gone to the red corner, hasn't it?
It has, yeah. A lot. Some people could come along and spoil the party, though. I mean, I think a real close contender would be Bryce Mitchell and then Jorge as well. I mean,
and then you just never know with heavyweights. All it takes is one. Hardy could come in there and start Spivak. You just never know.
Yeah. It could really swing the card. I mean, it's, we've seen what makes sense. We've seen where we break down the numbers of what the MMA maths has spoken, but it's not always the way it is to be, unfortunately, in something like the UFC. I love to rhyme words. And, but, look, aside from that, we're going to be doing a watch along, aren't we, that night? You're going to be up here?
Yes. I'm up there, yeah.
Love that. And
I'll have to leave. I better leave some food for Francis, mate. He'd be starving.
Yeah, don't forget to feed him. He's going to get lonely. Do you know, I've always wondered maybe someone's out on my balcony.
Yeah, obviously, Damo, when you first said that in the watch along, mate, I cannot, when I'm looking at my camera, I'm not looking at my camera, I'm looking at my window.
Just to see who's creeping
I'm just like,
on the
shit,
window,
is there a shadow there? Or
breathing heavily.
Yes, Calls, Miguel, jump in at last minute. Yes.
Last minute, Calls. Nice. Let's go.
Before that, mate,
sorry, Damo, saying,
I would say the power would edge the stand-up to Jorge, but I think Colby is the better MMA striker. Yeah, this is what I'm saying. Yeah. When we got, as I said earlier, that's it. When we got the striking up there, it's mixing up. Colby mixes up more than Masvidal. He's still tough, though. He's still tough.
Yeah. Chris, we had some of your picks on the show earlier as well. We played the tape. It was pretty awesome.
Yeah, mate, you missed yourself. You were famous for a couple of minutes, mate.
I know. I love the camera. I love the new angles. I love the hair as well, bro. You're rocking it. You're rocking it. But look, for you guys, if you want to send in your picks, you know exactly what to do. The description's in the link below. Sorry, that's the other way around. The link is in the description below. And if you click that, you'll find our web's email, and you'll be able to email over to us your picks. You can either upload it to your Google G Drive and then share, or you can use something like WeTransfer to get the job done as well. Now, aside from that, we do have coming up this weekend the watch along where Ash will be up here in the Hyde. That's going to be Saturday, 3 a.m. in the morning, so Sunday morning for us over in the UK. And if you're in the US, you're going to have to work out the time because I can't do that right now. But it's going to be a Saturday night for you. And then, we're going to be giving a full live watch along, the whole breakdown of the card, all the fun, all the banter, and the whole fight community is going to be there as well. If you haven't already jumped into the Fight League, do that now.
Yes, do that now. Sai somehow smashing it.
I don't know how it happens, bro. It just happens. But I try and remain humble in that. And it's these sort of fight picks that give clarity to how you pick in your fights as well. So the Fight League link for that is also below. And then we got about well over 50 or so people in there. And last week, crazy. 2 of us were top 5 globally in terms of picks as well. So this is definitely the place to be if you want to be picking fights at the UFC. Now, aside from that, then I think that's what wraps it up. Next week we've got more things coming, but we will not convolute you with all that.
Yes, we do. We do have. Yes, even indeed. Yes, I've totally forgot about that. Yes, it's not. It's on the Monday. On the Monday, yeah.
Yeah,
on the Monday.
Yeah. So stay tuned. All right, guys, you've been absolutely awesome. Hope you've enjoyed the show. I hope those picks were very useful for you. I might even put some chapters in there to make it a bit easier for you guys who are.
Yes, thank you for all the comments. Thank you, Damo, for tuning in, mate. Thank you, Miguel, Taylor, Dylan.
And then Cool Speaker said, PS picks done at work. Oh yeah, awesome. Yeah, we had Mo chiming in from the gym, sending in his picks for the picks league for the show as well, didn't he? But I love that. You guys get it done wherever. We love you. Okay,
I'm excited for your ones, Damo, for the UFC 273.
All right, guys, take care all, and we'll see you on Saturday or Sunday morning, depending where you are in the world. Peace out.